Here at Adrian College, we have several LGBTQIA identifying students, and we wanted to do this project to get a better understanding of what they endure on a daily basis, as well as what their lives are like here on campus.
Sometimes I usually use the bathrooms when they're not busy, like during lunch hours. I usually go back to my apartment, or if I go on my way to either go on the third floor if it's in Jones. I'll just use the women's bathroom just to avoid harassment.
Oh, really? So, do you experience a lot of that on campus?
I haven't personally, but I've heard stories, and I just want to avoid that.
Do you feel fairly accommodated by Adrian College?
Not really. I wish there were more unisex bathrooms. That way I don't have to feel torn between the two.
That's rough.
Yeah.
What would you change on campus if you were given the opportunity to?
Definitely having more gender-neutral bathrooms, but that's not something that will happen overnight. Making more awareness of, like, not everyone that is a female identifies as one, or vice versa.
Yeah, true. Have you heard of the North Carolina legislation on transgender laws?
Yeah, and I'm appalled.
You're appalled?
Because if a politician cares more about what's in someone's pants and where they pee or whatever, then they shouldn't run for office. Like, because if they're doing it because it's against their religion or just immoral to them, they have to take into consideration that not everyone follows their own morals, so they have to be accommodating for everyone.
Yeah. So, Lee, do you feel safe using the bathrooms on campus?
Generally, yes. I use the female restroom most of the time. When I used to live in the freshman quad dorm buildings, I would use the restroom that was on my floor, which was a male floor, simply because it was right next to my room and it was more convenient. And I didn't experience any harassment there until like one day, and then, yeah, so I tend to use female bathrooms more frequently now.
Due to how you express your gender, do you feel accommodated on campus for that? For bathrooms or through living-wise?
Oh, okay. Well, living-wise, I would say that it's pretty good because I've been offered several different options when it comes to living arrangements and being allowed to room with a female and everything. So, bathroom-wise, there aren't a lot of gender-neutral bathrooms on campus, so there are like a few, like one in Downs and a few scattered all over the place, but not every building has one. So I think that more gender-neutral bathrooms would be a bit more accommodating.
Do you know about the North Carolina legislation on transgender bathrooms?
Vaguely.
They want a bill to be able to have those who are transgender use their assigned birth sex bathroom. So those who are transgender female who express themselves as female have to use the male bathrooms and vice versa.
For you who don't know, North Carolina House Bill 2 puts into effect a statewide policy that would prohibit individuals from using bathrooms that correspond with their biological sex.
The bathroom situation and the kind of gender roles, because my belief is that gender is fluid, sex is not. So, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, like, gender is what you're born as, or what you have in your pants. So if you have a vagina, or if you have a penis, or whatever it is. Sex is concrete, gender is fluid. With that, I think that going back to the bathroom thing, that I think that humans should start using common sense to kind of discern where they should go, and bathrooms is just kind of the baseline. I think that we're making a big deal out of bathrooms.
Do you feel safe using the bathrooms on campus? Yeah? Okay. Do you feel fairly accommodated based on your gender on campus?
Yeah.
Would you change anything to improve the situation?
I think people just need to be more educated about it.
But is there anything else you would change to improve the situation on campus?
Just maybe raise people's awareness. Like, they don't hate me personally. They don't understand, but they don't understand it. So I think if we just offer a little more education and insight into the issues, maybe just like a workshop or something, like to increase awareness. It's a great idea.
So in Toronto, they went and they completely did away with all the labels.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this?
No, I have not.
Okay, so in Toronto, they something similar, but they took a different way. So North Carolina's like, no, you get your assigned birth, you get your assigned sex. In Toronto, they're like, your assigned birth doesn't matter, you can use whatever bathroom you want. Unfortunately, there are creepy people that then went into the bathrooms in Toronto and just use it and say, oh, well, I'm a woman today, or I identify as a woman, so that they would take videos. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in.
Compared to our campus, how do you think our campus can handle these situations?
I feel like just because it's a small private college, we should be able to do just what they want to feel comfortable because it's small. We all can kind of agree. It's not just an outcast, if that makes sense.
Yeah, our school is really welcoming. I feel like they wouldn't feel awkward using.
Do you feel safe using the bathrooms on campus?
Yes, when I'm using them, I don't seem to have any problems.
Okay. Do you feel fairly accommodated on campus or by Adrian College?
In general,
Yeah.
I feel like there's areas where we do very well, and there's areas that we struggle and we need to improve on. I mean, just as if anything in life.
Yeah. Well, do you have any suggestions to improve that at all?
It's raising awareness and making sure that there's active steps taken toward whatever it may be.
Well, do you know about the North Carolina legislation on transgender laws?
Yes, I'm very familiar with it.
How do you feel about it?
I thought it was pretty interesting in a bad way. It's pretty much rough discrimination. I mean, we're in a progressive nation, and North Carolina wants to stay back in the Union days and don't want to progress with the rest of the United States. And I'm pretty sure that law is going to end up getting struck down eventually, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, what do you think, like, if our campus had a similar situation like that, how do you think they would handle it?
I think that in general with transgender individuals, like, they need to be able to use where they feel comfortable. When it comes to equality for people in general, I think you can't use one group. Me as African American, I can just say I want equality and non-discrimination just for me.
Yeah.
It's for all those individuals that find themselves in the minority group of society, and so I think that they should be able to use the restroom that they find fit.
According to recent polls, 59% of Americans are against transgender people using their preferred bathrooms.
As of 2011, 700,000 Americans identify as transgender. This means that 700,000 Americans are struggling with something as simple as going to the bathroom every day.
In 1964, Congress passed the Education Amendments, one of which was Title IX. Title IX has several protections against sex discrimination and harassment on college campuses, and among those are protections for transgender students.
Title IX allows transgender students to use their preferred bathrooms on college campuses. Some schools have even incorporated gender-inclusive housing.
One school in particular, Cooper Union, decided to take an initiative on the issue. When students decided to protest in favor of transgender bathroom usage by taking down the signs around the bathrooms, President Bill Mia responded unexpectedly by not moving to replace them right away. Instead, he has decided to order new signs, and they will simply state restrooms with stalls and urinals, and restrooms with just stalls.
So what's the big deal? GMB, which is referring to gender-neutral bathrooms, actually have a lot of benefits. They allow the LGBTQIA to go to the bathroom freely. They also reduce the problem for parents and caregivers of children who are of opposite genders when they have to use the bathroom. They're also inclusive to people who have caregivers in attendance of opposite gender.
Not to mention, in states that have passed laws allowing people to use their preferred bathrooms, there has not been one single report of transgender people harassing cisgender people in public bathrooms.
Transgender people experience more harassment than cisgender people when it comes to using the bathroom. According to research done by the Williams Institute, 70% of transgender participants reported experiencing discrimination and harassment for going to the bathroom.
Most of the time, trans people report experiencing verbal harassment, but they've also reported that they have had police called on them and have even been followed out of the bathroom.
of participants reported being denied access to bathrooms, while 9% reported being physically assaulted, and 1 participant in the study reported being a survivor of sexual assault.
58% of transgender participants in the study reported avoiding bathrooms altogether, and 54% reported physical complications like UTIs, dehydration, and kidney problems as a result of not going to the bathroom.
So what do you think? Should we allow transgender people to use their preferred bathrooms?
Or should we remain stagnant in traditionalist, outdated views rooted in prejudice and discrimination?